They say we rarely realize how fragile life is until we meet someone who has already lost what we still have. Marina, a 32-year-old woman, lived in a cycle of ordinary gray days. She didn't dream of big changes, didn't plan bold moves, she simply existed, just like most people around her. But one morning, on her way to work, at a regular bus stop, something happened that shattered her view of life. Marina's mornings were always the same: alarm clock ringing, rushing around, a cup of cold coffee, and the same route to the office. She worked as an accountant in a small company. The job was stable but draining: numbers, papers, endless deadlines. Her apartment in a concrete block felt like a cage. The white ceiling light, identical dinners of pasta or buckwheat, the TV always buzzing in the background. She had almost no friends left in the city, and only spoke with her parents over the phone. It created an illusion of life, but inside, Marina felt empty. She often caught herself thinking that each day looked exactly like the one before. Even the calendar on the wall seemed meaningless. That morning, the bus was late. People grew restless, some checked their watches, others stomped their feet, and most stared blankly at their phones. On the bench sat an old man. His wrinkled face was tired, his hands trembling, and by his feet stood a small paper bag. He was staring into the distance as if seeing something no one else could. Suddenly, the bag tore open. A few old children's toys scattered onto the ground: a worn-out toy car, a little teddy bear with a missing ear, a faded rubber ball. People only shrugged or smirked. Only Marina bent down to help. She picked up the toys, placed them back in the bag, and handed it to the old man. He looked her in the eyes and whispered, "These are gifts for my grandson. I haven't seen him in years. Once, I was too busy with work to visit him. And when I finally decided to go, it was too late. Now I take them to the cemetery." His voice was quiet, but his words hit Marina's heart like a stone thrown into still water. That day, work became unbearable. Marina sat in front of her computer screen, but in her mind, she kept seeing those toys, that wrinkled face, and those haunting words. That evening, she pulled out old photo albums. In the pictures, there was a different version of herself, a smiling student with a backpack, laughing around a campfire with friends, full of dreams about exploring the world. Where had that girl gone? Her chest tightened as she realized her life had become nothing but endless workdays. What if I end up like that old man? She thought. What if one day I look back and see nothing but wasted years? The next morning, Marina did something she had feared for years. She handed in a request for vacation. Her colleagues raised eyebrows, some joked, "Running away from the taxes, huh?" But she didn't care. She went to visit her parents in the countryside. There, in the orchard where apple trees were still in bloom, she felt the smell of childhood. Her mother baked pies, her father showed her his new greenhouse. For the first time in years, she sat on the bench near their house and simply watched the sun set behind the hills. Then she called her old friends, the ones she hadn't spoken to in years. Together, they organized a trip to the Carpathian Mountains. And there, among the peaks in crystal-clear air, she laughed like she hadn't laughed in ages. She could feel the old Marina returning, the one from the photographs. Her life wasn't perfect, but she had finally started living again. Months later, Marina returned to the city as a different person. She quit her old job and found a new one, less prestigious, but one that left her with time for life. Her evenings were no longer wasted in front of the TV. Instead, she spent them with new people, traveling, or simply reading a book in the park. She learned to value not money or stability, but moments. The old man's words never left her. She understood, the worst thing in life is not mistakes or losses. The worst thing is living as if life never truly happened. Sometimes, one random meeting at a bus stop can change you more than decades of routine. Life is not about plans, not about waiting, not about work. Life is what happens right now.